Yo, what's up, guys? Your boy GFX, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about pain. As I was talking to this, actually, my parents are in town, and they came to visit to check out, just my situation, see what's going on. I'm tired of having this just so close. I mean, it's better, I think, too wide. But I was talking to my parents. I was talking to my dad, and I was talking to him about all the medical stuff that I've been going through. And for you guys out there, I've been going to getting a checkup, like a doctor checkup, and all. 'Cause I've been doing a lot lately with the doctor, and I was talking to my dad about it. I was like, man, it's just frustrating to go to the doctor and to take medication and do all that, and it's just annoying. It's an annoying thing to have. All of a sudden, well, you think you're okay, and then all of a sudden, the doctor's like, you need this, you need that, and not nothing too serious, but it's just a bother to have to do certain things. For the most part, it's cosmetic. But I was talking to my dad about it. There's also my mom's talking about my brother. If you guys don't know, one of my brothers passed away last December, or this last December, and it's been really hard on my mom. So my mom went to the hospital because she was basically stressed out, and that's what they told her, was that she was really stressed out, and that there wasn't really anything wrong with her. She was just under constant stress, and she was depressed and everything. And I think she came to visit. I think that's one of the main reasons she came to visit, was because I guess maybe my brother's death made her want to come and visit. Not that they weren't going to visit. I mean, obviously I'm their kid and they want to visit, So I was talking to my dad. We were sitting down having lunch, and I was talking to him about basically just pain in general and life. And my dad's like, people come into this world, and people are so happy to have kids. It's so joy. I mean, people are like full of joy when they have a kid. Just and they're so happy that they forget about all the pain that kid's gonna have to endure during his entire life. All the injustices in this world, and all the craziness that happens, just living on Earth. And I don't know, just the thought of just the idea of pain. I mean, that is life. Pain is life. It's like such an emo thing to say, but I mean, literally, life is just pain the entire time. But that's part of the reason why it's so great, is because you get to pain makes you stronger. And I guess just as a being, a sentient being, learning how to deal with the pain makes you stronger. But in the end, I mean, is it really worth all the pain? Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. Some people try and make reasons, and they usually end up going to war with everyone, trying to prove why their reason for living is the best, when really everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own life to live, their own story, their own path to follow. Not everyone's gonna have the same one. They might have similar paths, but in the end, you have your own story. You never know how you're gonna get from point A to point B, but the thing is you just do it. You just go from point A to point B. And it's interesting watching some people, other people's stories, and seeing, how they're living their lives. And I think that's part of the reason why people watch commentaries, is just to see how other people are dealing with their pain, with the pain of living. And just talking to my dad. That's an example of one of our conversations. um, we don't really like talk about football or basketball or anything like that. Me and my dad sort of have we talk about things that I don't know, maybe not a lot of people talk about. But yeah, it's that's just how I live. That's just how me and my dad cope with the pain of living, as who we are. And just thinking about it, thinking about like all the pain that all the struggle. In the end, like I I heard somewhere. I heard from I'm watching there's a guy named Eckhart Tolle is listening to one of his speeches, and in one of his speeches he says, think about all the drama in your life right now. Just think about all the mishaps, all the things that have gone wrong, all the wars, the famine, the disease, all those bad things that can happen in one person's life. All that just fits in between two dates on a tombstone. So basically, the hyphen is where all that drama, all that craziness, all that drama is just squeezed and consolidated into that one thing. It's just so crazy to think about it. I need to get some more cobblestone. So I gotta go down to the bottom. I know people say like I play this game really slow or whatever, but that's just how I play it. That's how I deal with playing with Minecraft. I don't really try to I'm not looking to, when I play Minecraft, I'm not looking to beat a game. I'm not looking to win anything. I'm just looking to have a discussion maybe with you guys. To be honest, I don't even play games anymore to play games. I play games to make videos for you guys, because I think that's more enjoyable than playing a game and getting frustrated, or playing a game at all. I mean, adding you guys to the equation and then getting the feedback and being able to talk to you guys, via, or via, I don't even know how to say that word, but, basically the interaction between, me and you guys from a video is a whole different thing. It's a really new, it's a new, like, I don't know what to call it. It's just, it's just a new way of playing games. It's like thinking about games. And I was watching this video by this guy named Suburban Legend, and I'll send you guys a link, but in the description below. But there's a guy, his YouTube channel is Suburban Legend, and he made this video, why I'm a commentator, and he talks about how video games, no matter what kind of person is behind a controller, you're still coming together to play video games. You're still coming together to, it's one of those things where like everyone can get along at some point in time. Not that they don't get pissed off at each other for noob tubing or or doing other things in the game, but I'm just saying, like, it's something that brings people together. It's a medium that brings people together, and I think it's great. Let me see. I guess for me, the same thing could be said with Minecraft, but on a smaller scale, obviously. Not everyone watches Minecraft, and I think I'm going to thinking about moving my stuff down here, but I definitely like having I might just make some things on there, but I have all my coal up here, so. But yeah, I was just thinking about pain today. I mean, pain is life. I think there's a Buddhist, like, I don't know, saying or proverb, quote or something, where he basically says that life can be described as pain. But everyone thinks it's like emo to call life pain. I mean, it's funny how, like, I think it's funny how we like make things superficial like that instead of just being real. Then again, what is being real? Let me see. I got some stone. So I don't know, just some thoughts for you guys can discuss in the comments section below what you guys think about life and pain and that whole ordeal. To me, I mean, obviously, it's. I'm not saying pain is in like. I'm saying pain in general, like feelings. I'm not saying it's like right. My life right now is painful. I mean, it kind of is to a certain degree, but I'm not thinking about, I'm not in a destructive state of mind. I'm just, just thinking out loud, like thinking about all the recent doctors things I've had to do, and all the things my mom had to do because of her health problems, and just in general, like, how high maintenance we humans are, because we're so fragile. So between life and death, they're pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same, in my opinion. I think life and birth. Well, birth and like death and birth are moments to celebrate and moments to mourn for. I mean, even some people can mourn for, like, if they have a child or whatever and they can't support it and they're in a really bad situation, that could be a very sad event for someone to give birth to a child, knowing that the child's going to go through a really rough life because the dad or whatever, like, or because the woman got raped, or because the woman doesn't want the child. Maybe she's like a teenager and doesn't want to take care of the child or whatever. So just thinking about that, it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. So in death, I think death is a more calm event. Obviously there's pain involved, and there's a lot of short-term stuff that happens in pain that is very discomforting, but at the same time you're leaving the all the pain that you had to endure your entire life. You're leaving that behind finally. You're going to bed. It's like you're resting finally, and everything's going to be well. But some people, that just chokes people up. Just the idea of not being conscious anymore frightens people to their very core. For me, like, I think death is a wonderful thing, but even as I think about it, like, not existing anymore, it definitely, like, makes it makes me think. It does make me choke up. Like, it makes me like, oh my god, like, I'm not going to be able to experience stuff anymore. But at the same time, it's like, do I want to experience stuff? Is that really worth, like, all the mourning, or all the being afraid? And is it really worth, like, worrying about it? Because you're leaving a lot of stuff that you didn't like anyways. Especially some people that have, like, they're addicted to things, or maybe they've had, like, the worst life ever, and maybe they're right now just struggling to pay bills, and if they're not here anymore, there's no point in paying bills. And paying bills is a serious thing. I know, like, it's kind of funny to joke around about it, but at the same time, I need some coal. At the same time, oh, I thought I was dead. Funny. But I totally forgot what I was talking about as far as that subject goes. Maybe it's for the better. But yeah, I was just thinking about that today. Like, is it really worth worrying about it and building up, like, all this fear of just not being conscious anymore, when we do it every night. Every night we go to bed, and every night we allow ourselves to be unconscious, I guess there's this idea that, you know, we're gonna wake up. You never really know if you're gonna wake up or not. I mean, that's just an assumption. You know, I was watching a video by obviously Jesus. If you guys don't know who he is, I'll put a link to his channel in description as well, or to a commentary that I'll be referencing. But he was talking about he was talking about what was he well, about death in general, as well as, and like choking up and being afraid that, you know, he's not going to exist anymore, and that maybe that's why people come up with these crazy ideas. It makes them insane. Maybe that's why religion was created, was because, you know, people were just afraid. They were choked up about the entire idea of just not existing anymore. And it's funny because you can't not exist. Your body's gonna be, you know, used for energy. It's gonna be put back into the earth. You're gonna basically become part of the earth again. And I think that's a wonderful thing. That's like returning home. But some people are afraid of just that idea, and they want to make these claims that, you know, that no matter what happens in your life or whatever, you can pray or do some sort of ritual, and then all of a sudden you'll stay alive forever. Who wants to really stay alive forever? I mean, right now it's fine. It's, you know, it's cool. Like, I guess, like, the earth is really awesome. And, you know, like, to live, obviously, well, the way obviously Jesus said, or the way he described it was, okay, if you want to live forever, well, imagine one day you've lived so long that the earth gets hit by a meteor and everything's gone. And, you know, right now it seems cool because all you've known is, you know, what it is now, like going outside and seeing trees and seeing the blue sky and having, you know, wonderful sight to see outside, and, you know, birds chirping, and it's all great and dandy outside. But that's just what you know now. Imagine in like a million years from now. Imagine a million years from now when all that stuff is gone. If it even lasts that long, like all the world that you once knew, you'll probably have a different idea of what it means to exist if you were to live so long that, you know, that, and you knew that you were never going to die. Like that that must be that would be the ultimate, probably the ultimate punishment, is to have someone to live forever. I think that would warrant, like, you know, punishment. That'd be like the worst hell ever, is to be able to live forever. And when people say they want to live forever, like they're just thinking about the immediate, like now. They want to live a life where they have no consequences. And wanting to live forever is sort of like a cop out, meaning that, you know, you don't really know what you're doing. And I'm just building all this space in here just so, you know, I'm gonna make an underground part 2, so clear all this out and make this pretty sweet. But yeah, I was thinking about that today, and obviously Jesus said, like, imagine if you were living so long and you're infinite, and the earth explodes or whatever, and you're just drifting in space, like, and, you know, you don't know what's out there, and you're so small, like, a being is so tiny. I mean, if you just look up, like, Google a star map or something, and just and look at how many galaxies there are. I mean, there's infinite amounts of nothingness out there. There's more nothing. I think it's said that there's more nothingness in everything than there is, you know, stuff. Like there's more of nothing, space in between the two space in between two things. Like there's more when you're speaking. There's more silence in between the words than all the words combined when you're speaking. And people don't notice that space in between each word, the space in between each sentence, when you're saying a sentence, there's so many pauses you take. Actually, I can sleep down here. But a lot of people don't even think about the space in between words, and even the, like, when you're thinking about your body and the way it's put together, like all the space that's in between each cell. There's so much space. And to live forever in that, knowing, you probably become much more aware. First off, there would be no reason to think. I mean, you probably know everything. If you lived forever, you would eventually acquire all the knowledge that could be out there probably. And I mean, I take that back. I doubt you'd learn everything about the universe, but all that you know now is not all that is out there. So a lot of people who are worried about death and, worried about the pain of life, I mean, I don't think it's any different if you're dead. The pain is still there. The injustice is still there. People are still being ignorant, and people are still killing each other, and life is still happening the way it happens. So there's no difference between life and death, and there's no reason for alarm if you're going to, go through, if you're going to die. I mean, there really isn't. But our mind is like, it's the reason why we have such a strong response is because of our ego, the self-made, the self-righteous, selfish entity of our ego. And like me, there's this whole me thing about it. Like, this is this life is about me, and because all you know is yourself. So, and a lot of people don't even know themselves. But at the same time, it's like, it's just selfish to think about, death in a me sort of form. And that's, even if you mourn for someone, it's healthy to mourn for people. At the same time, it's not healthy for your mind. I know eventually you have to do it, or otherwise it builds up and you go crazy. But I need to get rid of some of this dirt. Or maybe I should store it. Will I ever need dirt? Maybe I could do some landscaping out here. I don't know if I'd ever need this much dirt. I might as well save it, and just in case. Because I don't want to, if I ever need dirt, I don't want to have to go and dig for it. At least I'll have mounds and mounds and mounds of dirt. But yeah, that's just been on my mind today, and talking to my dad. I love, talking to my parents. Right now they're with me, and they're spending the day here in my city, visiting me and one of my other brothers that live in the city as well. And they're just here to just check up on me and see what's going on. I know there's been a lot of things that have lately with me going on in my life, like with work and everything. I have a few friends that are changing jobs, and people that are switching out, their life. They're living their life, So thinking about that as well. It's the same thing. Like, people leave, people come, people come and go. You never know what's gonna happen. And it really doesn't matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter where people go. It doesn't matter if you have to change jobs. You're still gonna be in the workforce. Oh, I should have got some more stone. But you're still gonna have to pull through your weight in society, so we can keep everything functioning right and well. So let me see here. I think this subject too is a little bit taboo because people are afraid of it. People are afraid of just being, being true to themselves and understanding, or even just thinking about things. They're just afraid. They're afraid of actually knowing. There's a lot of people who are afraid of actually knowing, the truth. And there are people who seek the truth. And there are people who make up their own truth. But it's better if you don't speak. There's only like to think about words and everything. Well, when I say like, all right, so when people think when people want to think of things, they use words, and they're in their mind, they're thinking about words, like words to create, an understanding that they could then use to describe it to somebody else. Most of the time when people are talking to you, they're just using you to confirm their own mental structure. They're just using you to confirm their own selves, like their own ideas. They're like I said, mental structure. They're not talking to you. They're not talking to you, to inform. Well, for the most part, I'm saying that a lot of people don't talk to you to listen. They're talking to you to confirm their own mental structure, and sometimes it works. Well, it obviously works because there's a lot of people who do that, and it works every day. And especially with me working in advertising, that happens. Every conversation happens like that. People are just using each other to confirm their existence in the universe. And it's a pretty selfish thing to do, but that's just how life is. It's just how people are. I've just been thinking all day about these things, like what is it, like what is life, like what is the core of life? And my answer is pain. Life is just pain. And that's the GFXLab video for today. The Minecraft video. I should call this Mindcraft, just because I think I'm gonna stop doing reactions and stuff like that. I think I'm just gonna use this video to talk to you guys and continuously build this little world right here. And and it's gonna lag. There we go. It's probably out of sync now, but hopefully you guys don't get too mad. And I might just change I'm gonna change the title of these videos to Mindcraft. I think that's an appropriate title for what I'm doing here on my channel with Minecraft, at least. I love talking to you guys, and I think it's at the same time, like I said to you guys, me talking to you guys is really just to confirm my own mental structure, my philosophies, obviously Jesus's philosophies. Everyone who talks about, these sorts of things, they're only talking to you and explaining to you these things the way they're explaining, them, just because they want you to confirm that they're not, that they exist and that their opinion exists. It's funny. And another thing is, like, when people go out to ask people for information, and most of the time you get most of your information right is when you're not asking for it. And a lot of the good information goes unheard of. Like, a lot of information that people get, they just take for granted because at the time they're probably not looking for it, but it comes to them. And by that, I'm talking about like the way people, the way things are structured in life too, especially like things that, there's a lot of things that are assumed when you're growing up, like how to breathe and stuff. Just simple things like that. I mean, there are instructions on how to breathe better as a human. There's a lot of things out there that can make your life a whole lot better, but they're just not advertised. and you'll never see them unless you go actively, unless you have the problem. And that has to deal with pain as well, because pain comes out to experience. Like my dad told me, he was like, you go through life and you have all these ailments, you get sick all the time, and you have all these things that happen to you, and they might seem like just it's incredibly bad right now, but as you grow up, you start to discover that all of a sudden you have this huge database, this huge toolbox full of mental tools that you've saved throughout your entire life, from all of all the bad things and good things that have happened to you in your entire life. Like, you have this huge knowledge base now. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to inform other people about how to live through their pains? And to me, that's the best thing, a person could do. There's people that are my favorite guy right now ever pretty much on TV is Cesar Millan. And the reason why is because he helps people understand how crazy they are. He's one of the, if there was anyone that was a psychic, he's a psychic, because he doesn't control dog. Like, he messes, or he works with dogs. For you guys that don't know, his name is Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, and he goes out to people and he helps people with their dog problems. Very simple idea, but for the most part, he doesn't help the dog. The dog already knows what it needs to do for the most part. I mean, the dog's fine. It's usually the person who's the owner of the dog who's just absolutely crazy. And the only way that something like a dog from nature would be able to deal with the insanity of a human being, of a human mind, is to just go insane itself. The human mind is like a cancer that engulfs anything that tries to understand it. That's why it's portrayed as a devil in religious contexts. Satan is the mind. And Satan is knowledge, actually. Not actually the mind. I guess, yeah, it's more knowledge, because without the mind, you wouldn't have the mind would be the core, the conscious part of the person, and then knowledge would be the devil, because like he was wrapped around the tree of knowledge. So it's he entices you by saying, you might be missing out. It's kind of like advertising. Basically, in advertising, the goal of advertising is to make you feel like you're missing out on life, that you're missing out on such an incredible experience that you need to go out and consume whatever they're selling, whether it means like a vacation to Cancun to see all these girls in bikinis, and to go out and get drunk and go to tequila bar and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, they try and sell you this image that you're missing out on life, because that's just how their business goes. And I think that's why I'm pretty good at designing things for advertising, is because I understand how insane people's minds are, and because I know like I have knowledge of it, I'm able to put together designs that make people not think. Because the idea of designing something for advertising or anything graphics wise is to make sure that the person who's going to be consuming or looking at the video or whatever it is does not have to think about anything at all. They just simply consume. And the easier you can make it. Like I used in one of my past examples, the McDonald's interface, the way it's designed, and the 2-color theme and everything. They're ahead of their time. They are way ahead of their time with their design, and it just makes it. I'm gonna make this kind of an interesting building. I think I'll make this a little room right here. It'd be kind of cool. And maybe make this a room. It goes in here a little bit. And get this all over here. But yeah, the less you make people think, the better of a designer you are. Like, especially when it comes down to even if it comes down to YouTube backgrounds. When people do YouTube backgrounds, they always want to make like all this. They want to add all this like extra stuff to the background, and design's kind of like putting on jewelry. You've gotta just put on the right amount, not to look like you're trying too hard with jewelry. For instance, if a woman were to walk in and she had like a huge necklace on and all kinds of stuff like around her face or whatever, then the woman probably looks trashy. And the reason why people think that is because we are all minimalists and we don't want to think about, her and all her jewelry on. We just want to see, a pretty woman with just enough jewelry to gaze at, I guess. But for the most part, people wear a lot. And that is, I like tying in my job with the ideas that I have as far as like what life is and everything, because it helps validate once again my mental structure, and as well as gives me a reason to do these, and it also gives you guys a reason to watch them, because if you guys are interested in design or graphics or anything like that, it might help you understand it a little better. I guess I can try something a little different. Let's make it a little cool. But yeah, I've just been thinking about that all day, talking about that with my dad, and I was like, that's a good subject to talk about for my new Minecraft. And I'm sorry about not putting out a lot of videos lately. The reason why this is, I've been slacking a lot is just because I've been so busy with my stuff in real life that I just haven't had the time to do it. And I definitely like making videos for you guys. It's fun. But at the same time, I've got to get stuff done as well. But I'll try and keep up with these a lot more. I understand how much you guys want to have these videos. Well, the couple thousand of you guys that are subscribers that like Minecraft. I don't know how the guys that are like this guy Blue Cephos, I think that's his name, or Cephos or something like that. He gets massive amounts of numbers like these. Well, there's two guys that get they get on the front page with Minecraft, and I'm like, man, how are they getting that? Like, they must have some epic videos. So I watched some of their videos, but I still didn't get it. Maybe I'm missing out on something. They do little edits and stuff like that, and they're probably a little, they're not as, their commentary isn't as heavy as mine, I guess, and they're very light on their stuff. So I guess I understand why they get a lot. And obviously there's CNanners who makes awesome videos. He made a Terraria video. I'm just not interested in that game. I don't think I'm gonna buy it. I don't think I'm gonna even try it out. It just doesn't. I don't know. Side scrollers. I like side scrollers, but they have to be. I like traditional side scrollers like Metal Slug and stuff like that. I don't really like. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the Terraria. So I think I've talked for a good bit for you guys. Made a pretty long video. Let me know what you guys think in the description below about pain, about maybe some of the ideas I've told you about people and their mental structures. So I don't know, guys. Hope you guys have an epic day. I'm gonna go talk with my parents some more and do work. So hope you guys have an epic day. Peace out.
God damn, girl, you got a fat ass.